guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing 10 products that I think are underrated here on YouTube. Before we get into it, with all of these videos, I mean, this is totally my opinion. These are products that I personally love and I just don't hear them being talked about very often. Now, I don't watch every single video that is put out there. There are a lot of beauty channels and I cannot take all of that in. There's just no way that anyone could keep up. I'm not just a content creator, I love watching YouTube videos as well, and I watch a ton of beauty related videos. So these are the products that I feel like I just don't hear people talking about anymore. Some of them people used to talk about, some of them I just never really heard anyone talk about. So I thought it would be fun to share those with you. I was actually going through my collection getting ready to film products that I think are overrated, and as I started opening my drawers and looking through my collection, I grabbed a couple things that I thought were overrated, but at each drawer I opened I was like, oh, that one, no one talks about that, but I love that. No one talks about that, but I love that. And I was like, I should do an underrated instead, because I just felt like more products were calling to me in this category than overrated. And I looked back on my channel, it's been almost a year since the last time I did an underrated products video. So I thought it would be fun to do this. So let's jump in. As I mentioned, there are 10 products here. I wanted to start with some lip products. Let's start with this because this is what's on my lips right now. These are the Burt's Bees lipsticks. I did do a whole swatch video. They were kind enough to send me the entire collection. That was the first time I ever received like an entire collection of color in PR, and probably maybe the last time that that's happened to me, but I will link that above in case you want to see all the colors on my lips. But I think these are such a nice lipstick. I am wearing the shade Tulip Tide on my lips right now. I did have a balm already on, so it's not like as pigmented as it would have been had I not layered it over the top of a lip balm. But I love these because they are so darn comfortable, but they wear really beautifully. They're kind of a hybrid between a tinted lip balm and a lipstick. They're like right there in the middle. They're not fully a tinted lip balm and they're not fully a lipstick. They're just a very beautiful, comfortable to wear product. They have a great shade selection and they're from the drugstore, so they are more affordable. They are kind of like a high-end drugstore, if you guys know what I mean. It's like Physicians Formula kind of pricing. So they are a little bit more of an investment, but I think they are totally worth it. And I did hear like a ton of people talking about these when they first came out, but I never hear anyone talk about them anymore, and I think that's unfortunate because I think they're really great lipsticks. Now, I did declutter a whole bunch of them. I only have 4 left, but I only did that because I had way too many lipstick in general. I did not need that much lipstick, so I saved my top 4 favorite shades, but I still really, really love these. Okay, the next lip product that I never hear anyone mention are these Buxom lip pencils. I only have 1 shade, but I really love this particular shade, which is called Hush Hush. I did actually have this on in a video recently, and I had a lot of comments about it. It's a really good nude shade, but these are supposed to be plumping lip crayons, and I definitely notice a difference when I wear these. My lips just look a little bit fuller when I'm wearing these. It does have like the built-in brush as well, which I never really have used, but it's a good idea, I guess, for blending or whatever. But these are really easy to work with, super comfortable. When I wear this, I wear it on its own. I don't really layer it with another product. I just use it to line my lip line and then fill it in, and I think this is a really good product. I don't know why I don't hear anyone talking about these because I think they're actually really nice. And then the last lip product is this Sephora collection. This is a plumping lip product as well, so I guess that is something that I'm kind of drawn to. This is in the shade number 2, which is just called Outrageous. No. Is that right? No, they're called the Outrageous Pump Effect lip glosses. But this is the shade number 2, which is just the nude shade. I think they only have 3, maybe 4 shades, I can't remember. But it basically goes on like a clear gloss. It just has a little bit of a nude tint to it. So you can really wear this over any other lip product. And I love layering this with other lip products. It does have a little bit of a sticky, tacky feeling. So if you don't like a sticky gloss, you might not want to grab one of these. But I think they're really nice. They definitely give you a little bit of that tingling feeling, the plumping feeling, without being like crazy burning that some plumping products can have. It's just kind of that happy medium. And I really like it. I like the color, I like the formula, I think it's a good product. All right, I have another drugstore product that I never hear anyone ever talk about, and I don't know why, because I think it is actually really nice. I recently discovered this product actually. This is from Almay. This is called their 5-in-1 primer. It's a color correcting primer. It does have, let's see if you guys can see it. It does have those little beads inside that are like purple and green, and when you pump it out, those kind of like break, and then they mix into the clear part of it and you apply it to your face, and it's meant to color correct. Honestly, it's like almost an exact dupe for the Stila One Step Correct, which is one of my favorite high-end primers as well. So if you like that primer and you're looking for an affordable dupe, I think this is a really good option. I never ever hear anyone talk about this. This is one of those products I don't think I've ever heard anyone mention on YouTube. Almay is not a brand that sends out a lot of PR. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone receive PR from Almay. I feel like sometimes the PR dictates how much you hear about it on YouTube. And not necessarily that people are only talking about things that they receive for free, but I think a lot of times when YouTubers get bigger, they might not purchase as much product on their own, because if you're getting boxes and boxes of PR sent to you every day and all this makeup that you need to try out, you don't really have time to go try other things on top of that. You would probably already be overwhelmed with the amount of makeup that you're getting for free. So I can imagine brands that aren't sending you free stuff, you're not likely to go and investigate. Does that make sense? Not that I'm not dissing anyone, that's just the fact of how it is. So I think brands like Almay, brands that don't send out a lot of PR, I just don't hear them being talked about, but I think this is a really good product. I do also have a foundation that I don't know that I've ever heard anyone mention, and that is from the brand Stellar. Now, Stellar is a brand that is carried at Sephora, but it's one of those brands that I feel like nobody really talks about. You know, like Pretty Vulgar, Stellar, they're kind of those brands that have a minimal amount of product available, and I just don't hear a lot of people talking about them. Stellar was kind enough to send me this product and actually a few other products in a package, a PR package, but I've tried a lot of the products they sent me and nothing really stood out to me except this foundation. This foundation I think is really, really nice. I really like it. It reminds me a little bit of my Estee Lauder Double Wear, maybe not as much coverage as the Double Wear, not quite as full. I would say this is like between a medium and full, but as far as the way that it looks on my skin, it gives me that very like natural kind of, not glowy, but just skin-like finish, almost like a satin finish, and it wears beautifully. It wears all day, it does not fade, and it just looks really, really nice. So I've been very much impressed with this foundation. By the way, I have the shade S03 in case you're curious, but I think this is a really nice foundation, and if you're looking for a medium to full coverage, I would recommend it. Alright, next up I have a face powder. This is one I feel like I did hear a lot of people talking about when it first launched, but I haven't really heard people talk about it recently. This is from By Terry. This is the Compact Expert Dual Powder. I have the shade Fair Ivory, and it's basically a two-tone powder. So the powder in the center here has kind of a luminous glow to it, and then the outer powder on the outer rim here is a matte powder. So you can either concentrate your brush on one or the other or swirl it together, and it has such a silky, soft, smooth finish. I like sometimes swirling it together, sometimes I'll use my brush in one spot or the other, but overall I think the formula of both powders is really pretty and I really like it a lot. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite face powders. I think it's fantastic, and yeah, definitely love that. Never hear anyone talk about it though. Alright, next up I have a highlighter to mention, and this is from Lancome. This is their dual finish highlighter. I have the shade number 5, Sparkling Peche or Peche. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about these. Actually, I have heard one person. I think I've heard Mel's Makeup 88 talk about it, and she might be the only one I've ever heard mention this product. But these highlighters are fantastic. I would really like to pick up a few more shades. This one was actually sent to me from Octoly, but I wasn't expecting too much because in the photo of it, it didn't look like anything really special. It just looked like a basic highlighter. But once I got it in person and actually played with this, it is gorgeous, you guys. It reminds me a little bit of the Becca ones, but not quite as glittery. Like, it's just more of a beautiful glow. Like, I can't even explain it right. It's just like a shine. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. Like I said, I really do like this shade, but I'd like to pick up a few more shades as well. I think it's just a fantastic formula. I don't know why no one ever talks about these. I don't know why. They are a little expensive. That might be it, but totally worth it. Alright, next up I have a bronzer. This is a Becca bronzer. I have the shade Capri Coast. This is another product that I feel like was talked about a little bit when it first launched and then everyone forgot about it, and I think these are really, really nice bronzers. Now they do have a tiny bit of shimmer in these, so if you want completely matte, I wouldn't recommend these, but it's not a lot of shimmer. It's pretty subtle in my opinion. Like I said, I have the shade Capri Coast. Let me go ahead and swatch that. It's a really nice wash of color without being too intense, and then you can really just build it up, and that's why I like these so much. They don't go on patchy, they don't go on like too pigmented where you're blending for days. It's just a really beautiful wash of color, and then you can really build it where you need it. So I really enjoy this bronzer a lot. I definitely recommend that guy as well. Next up, I do have an eyeshadow palette to talk about. This is another one where I only have one, but I would really love to pick up more of these. They're just an investment, so I have to wait. But this is the new formula of the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palettes. They call them the Iconic palettes. I have the shade combination called Provocateur, which is this beautiful kind of cool toned pinks and mauves. A stunning palette. Every time I use this palette, I love the look that I come up with. And even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of versatility in there, I've gotten quite a few very different looks from this palette. Overall, I think it's a very beautiful palette. I really like it. I love the formula. I like the fact that he dropped the price when he reformulated his eyeshadow palettes. They came down from being $59 per palette to $49, so they're a little bit more affordable. Still pricey, but a little more affordable. But I just think they're really good, and I just don't ever hear anyone mention these palettes. So yeah, I think they're really, really good, and I definitely think they don't get enough hype. All right, and then number 10, the last thing that I wanted to share with you guys today is a mascara. This is from Sephora Collection. This is the Lash Craft Big Volume Mascara. So this is actually only $14, so it's a little bit more than a drugstore mascara, but definitely more affordable than the other mascaras that you could find at Sephora. I think this is a really nice mascara. It definitely reminds me of the Better Than Sex mascara. It has a similar shape in the wand with that hourglass shape and the natural fiber bristles. But what I notice about this one is it does not get as thick and clumpy as the Too Faced Better Than Sex does on my lashes. So it still gives me that super great volume. It gives me a ton of volume without getting too clumpy. So I think this is a really good mascara. I'm going to be very sad when mine's gone because I really, really like this one. So I highly recommend that as well. And that's another thing I just don't hear anyone talking about. Alright you guys, so those are the products I wanted to share with you today in this underrated makeup video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'd love to hear from you guys about what products do you love that you don't hear anyone talking about. Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're here, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on future content. And thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.